And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome. You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi. I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. We're going into the month of September. I'm really liking it, seeing the seasons change and everything going on outside. What we're doing here is starting with a first and last. It's a style reading that I like to call because we examine openings, beginnings, and endings and closings, that which is characterized by the aces of every element and their counterpart, the tens of every element. Up here, the aces, cups, pentacles, wands, swords represented by water, earth, fire, and air. Essentially, new beginnings, could be emotional openings, could be what we see as either new or renewal and opportunity. And in their counterpart, the tens, ultimatums, conclusions, or things that we feel have come to some sort of solace, or at least compacted ending, right, in a way. So as a preamble to my reads, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse, right? At times when we hear something that may be, a little bit difficult to process or stomach or things like that, Sag, we're saying, okay, what is it about this read that's making me feel so repulsed by it, right? Because either I, as a reader, am totally off the mark, or I very much am on the mark. If I'm totally off, my apologies. Sometimes that happens in sign-based collective readings, but I would love to have you back again. And if I'm not, well, then that's why we sit here with each other and talk about it, right? So follow along in this read as you go through your first and last for the month of September. Let us see what the cards say. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Sagittarius, starting with that Ace of Cups, or the Ace of Cups. What about emotional openings? Kicking off this month of September in their first and last reads. Okay, Ace of Cups, Seven of Cups. Okay, so we got a Sag here who's believing in the notion of possibility. How so? Two of Pentacles. Okay, things will and can balance out. Knight of Swords. Okay, cool. So an action that we've taken recently, at least to open up a new pathway for us, or at least the possibility of things further down the road, it was a good risk and a good reward, at least from the Sagittarius I'm looking at. Right now we're in a state of, okay, I did it. I did it, right? There's this level of almost a shock factor within the self of what you could prove. And now, okay, things are balancing out. It was a risk worth taking. Now the next step is, while this has opened up, not only emotional possibility within myself of what I believe I can do, but also everything else of what can unfold. What path do I take? Right. So whatever you're starting off on this month with, Sag, it's the notion that action that I took recently, not only has it paid off, but it's like, what's next? To the Ace of Pentacles. Show the cards that we need to see, please, for Sag and the Ace of Pentacles. What of new opportunity and solid, tangible beginnings? Upon that Ace, okay, the Sun. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So much happiness there. How so? Judgment. Okay, I think I know where this is going. The second highest arcana, and Strength, the card of Leo. So we pulled three major arcana just now under the Ace of Pentacles. First, starting with that Sun. Well, happiness, light, and a future, defined now by Judgment. Divine lessons, divine timing, or just a notion that, right now is the best time of any time, and Strength, the card of Leo, the power of perseverance to actually get there. So like I was saying, going back to your emotional opening that led to a solid offer being forwarded your way, we have a Sag who at first there was definitely a level of nervousness to take this action, but now that they have, you actually harvested something you couldn't even believe that would actually come your way. That at least for the Sagittarius I'm looking at, this is what we have for your opening in September. And it's not that it's unsustainable, but right now you're just in a state of like euphoria around it, where, you know, when that level of elation and when that high wears off, who are we left to be? What are we left to do? Right? But for now, we're smooth sailing. And I really like that for you, at least in what opportunity you opened up for yourself tangibly. Ace of Wands, a home of fire. Show the cards that we need to see, please, for Sag in their home element. What of the power and belief in the human spirit the Sag need to know for their read? To the Ace of Wands. Okay, King of Wands. And not only are we, excited about prospects, but we're in a state of moving towards action, moving towards putting that into motion. What does that mean for us? Okay, next. Eight of Wands, directly saying what we want, how we feel, and the Hangman. Okay, so someone is believing in the idea that if I can speak into existence, if I could be forthright and intentional about where I go, well, then time will tell what can come of it, right? The Sag I'm talking to, we pulled 2 fire and 1 water underneath the element of fire, but that's all relative right now. King of Wands is one who embodies their element, right? So we take that ace and we hold it in our hand. And now we hold ourselves responsibility for the fire that is there, right? For you, Sag, this means, okay, well then what else do I want out of this? Right, the Eight of Wands is seeking direct and fast-moving communication and interaction. Here, okay, I got this done. Cool, I can't believe I got this done. Now, well, what am I going to do with it? Right, again, there's this theme of where are we going? And that's probably why the Hangman is there. If you notice, and I always try to describe the Hangman this way. The Hangman is somebody who they're not, in a state of, a cadaver or decay. This is not a conversation about harm or anything. The Hangman is actually somebody who intentionally climbed the tree and tied themselves upside down. And it was to give themselves an inverted 180 gaze, right? What do we see? How do we know it? And how can we completely flip it so we can know it better? This here being active and intentional suspension, there's too much fire for it not to be. Here saying, okay, well, for the things that I do know, here's what I'm going to aim for. And the things that I don't, that's what I need perspective on. But you're in a state of action right now, and hopefully it yields the result that you're intending. Ace of Swords. So the cards that we need to see, please, upon this Ace of Air, the Ace of Swords, here a truth, by extension a challenge. What the Sagittarius need to see, please, upon the Ace of Swords for their read. Month of September. To the Ace of Swords. Okay, Page of Swords. Okay, so being in a state of observance, but also as we learn and as we grow, we're trying to call a spade on what our endeavor is. So at least we're being honest in the things that we observe, calculating, and trying to move forward with it. So the Magician. Okay, so the power of manifestation. In what way? The Ten of Pentacles. The Tree of Life now comes out. Okay, so upon that truth, okay, we're saying, at least Sagittarius, whatever this past endeavor was, it was kind of a journey and a proof to the self. That's the easiest way I could put it. Why? Because a lot of that truth is resting on a page. A page, the pages I like to say are the kids of tarot, because you take the element in its purest and rawest form. And yes, it is there, but it's such a small and vulnerable form of that element that at times it could either be taken advantage of or just simply stomped out. Easiest way I can put it. Here for you, Sag, now that you have proven to yourself whatever you thought you couldn't do, you can. Well, then what comes next? What next? And we're asking ourselves, now that I've proven that I can manifest the power of the magician, that, resparking and reigniting the fire within and saying anything is possible. Well, what can I want for that will build foundation for what I want to see going ahead? And that's probably why that 10 of Pentacles is coming out. So your next challenge is, okay, whatever we did, it opened up a great opportunity for us. Well, then, if we want to keep everything rolling, what will we have to do to sustain this? Underneath it all, King of Swords, making the right decisions, but also a card of victory. Here, the King of Swords telling us, what, beyond debate, beyond, worrying about the what ifs, make decisions. I'm seeing a Sagittarius who is finally believing in their decision-making power, but also moving forward and saying, yeah, and the only way I can move now is with that same exact amount of energy and faith in the process that I wanted to unfold. Cool. Let's move to your 10s. So starting with that 10 of Cups. Didn't hit the table, can't take. So what's the cards that we need to see, please, for Sagittarius? 10 of Cups. In their first and last month of September. What of harmony and synchronicity, both between the self and outside? What do we feel is right? And how do we keep that going? So the card that we need to see, please, for Sag upon their 10 of Cups. To that 10, okay, King of Cups. Let's come back to that in a second. Page of Pentacles. Okay. I think I'm starting to see this unfold. And the 5 of Swords. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's review. Because I knew this wasn't going to be all sunshine and rainbows. But again, I don't call things bad or good. We just try to have honest conversations. Starting from... so you're right looking left. Yeah, you're right looking left. We have the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords is a war within, oftentimes feeling of self-sabotage, or, we just can't get it right. And that's something that we had to learn with that Page of Pentacles. More than debate, we have to try. We gotta try. We gotta try to make things different. We gotta try to do something different, even if we feel that we'll mess it up the entire way. And there's this emotional acceptance here with this King of Cups, and that's probably what Harmony was trying to teach you, is that we can have every debate possible and every hypothetical conversation, every what if, is not going to change your what is. For the Sag I'm looking at, and this is why that decision-making process was not easy. Whatever I saw up here, let me reiterate, it was not easy. The King of Cups is the acceptance of the whole self now. What has this taught you? Well, I can be nervous and still make decisions, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be, right? And so now, well, not only is there this element of disdain of, why didn't I ever believe that was a possibility? But more than not believing it was a possibility, how do I move forward even beyond nervousness, right? I've proven to myself I can do it. What held me back before? And that's what we're trying to sit with even when it hurts. To the 10 of Pentacles. What are the foundation of everything, all of our experiences, people that we meet, and the situations we encounter moving forward? What is significant to learn here for Sag in their read? So the cards I'm going to see, please, upon that 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. Ace of Swords. And so I have a feeling where it's going, but let's hold off on it. Hierophant, the card of Taurus. How so? Seven of Swords. And so the spiritual paths that we've say we wanted but denied to ourselves, they will either be there or they will be squashed. At least that's the way I interpret it, Sag. Here's why. You have your truth, the Ace of Swords, and it probably ties back here because we did see the 10 Pentacles pop out over here too. Not only the I can do it factor, but this is what it is right now. Yes, when we get over, the elation, the, ecstaticness of, being ecstatic over the situation that we manifested for ourselves, now here comes the harder part, which is the dedication to that journey, right? The Hierophant, to believe of what we're being called to do it by the book, but also to say, hey, I'm down for the process. There's no denying it to myself now. And that's probably where that Seven of Swords is coming out, that all things are not exactly as it appears on the surface, but also there are more conclusions to be had when we acknowledge different angles. Here, playing off of the Ace and the Ace of Swords and the Hierophant, well, what I thought I couldn't do, I've already done. And now that I've proven to myself that I can do it, what other factors do I feel are holding me back, and why are they that way, right? That 10 of Pentacles is saying, okay, you've proven this big monumental thing for yourself, at least in the beginning. Now moving to a form of an ending here with that 10 of Pentacles. For the rest of, I wouldn't say our lives, but for a monumental part of our journey now, we can't unsee it, right? We can't say that we couldn't do it when we actively did it. So now moving forward, yeah, that nervousness will be there. That hesitation will still be there. That's not something you have to run away from. It's actually something that you have to engage with. Why do we feel a level of disempowerment even as we're actively lifting and pushing everything out of our way? Okay, to the 10 of Wands. So what we need to see, please, upon that 10 of Wands for Sag in the read. What is significant of the 10 of Wands for Sagittarius? Okay, that is just bad shuffling. I'm sorry. I can't take that. Remember, tarot card readers are also people too. Now, if it was a few cards, yeah, I would have put them on that read. I would have put them right on that card. That's not enough for me. That is just me being kind of trash. Accept it. So the cards that we need to see, please, upon that 10 of Wands for Sag in their read. You can't have half a deck fall out. That's not how that works. A few, yes. But when it's that bad, that just means that I fumbled the deck. What do we need to see, please, upon that 10 of Wands for Sag in their read? 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, and now the burden, again, drawing back to everything. You've pulled this twice now, at least in your first and last read on Sag. Now that we know truth, and now that we've proven ourselves that we can enact it, what can we not back down from? Right? It is our burden to carry. Now that we've proven whatever this was up in your aces, we now understand, hey, in the long journey ahead, there's no regression, right? If we truly say that we want this, and yeah, there will be some stumbles along the way. This is natural, it happens, but my burden to carry, because we are carrying that on the 10 of Wands here, saying, okay, well, we can't say it can't be done because we did what we thought was impossible. No going back. Queen of Cups. To understand that when we fully ingratiate ourselves into that process, when we say that it is doable, it can happen, then we have to give our all to it, even when that makes us vulnerable, even that when that could make us scared or want to retreat. The Magician, the power of manifestation, that what can be done is actively proven, not just theoretical. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have some clarity going on later on. And so to the 10 of Swords, the last of the 10s here for you, Sag. Show us the cards we need to see, please. What about on the pain of conclusions and endings? Or at least that was which must be said and stated. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Sag in this reading. Why that 10 of Swords? To the 10 of Swords, Queen of Swords, okay. So what we know to be true is now becoming more painfully obvious. King of Wands that let me draw the last card before I say it, because I know this might come off as harsh because we've had a lot of repetition so far. And the Ten of Cups. Okay, everything is almost seeming to pattern repetition. What we know about ourselves, I don't want to say that we are, the biggest thing that's holding us back. Let me rephrase that. We have always had the capacity to not simply do more, but do better. It's about believing that what we're doing is right. Right. And I think that's the biggest question that you're trying to propose to yourself, not only as your truth, but also your challenge here, Sag, is that now that I've harmonized that 10 of Cups, just like we were talking about earlier with this 10, now that I've proven to myself that I very much could do it, do I feel right? Do I feel deserving of the opportunities that have opened for myself? These possibilities, in fact, if I do it, in reflection and hindsight, they were always there. The question isn't if they were there. The question is what was holding me back. That's the easiest way I can put it. That King of Wands is now moving in tandem with that Queen of Swords. These are painful truths that we have to come to ourselves of being like, no, we could have justified it by saying it was too tough, it wasn't possible. But now that we've done that, well then, what else could we do? One path says we could pretend that we don't know. We go back into a state of regression and say that what we originally accomplished was just a fluke. Or we could say, no, I'm more capable of what I gave myself credit for. Now, what does that look like? Underneath it all, the Seven of Cups pops out again. I think, oh yeah, it was the first card that we pulled. Here, we make the right decision around possibility, right? That King of Swords playing off that Seven of Cups. That is not just theory, it's practice. Where do we go moving forward? Define the major arcana strewn across the table for Sagittarius in their first and last read, month of September. So you had a bunch of cards, major arcana on the Ace of Pentacles. I want to look at let's look at that Sun. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Sag in their read. Looking first at the Sun. What about that happiness that we've been trying to bring out for the longest time? Then we move on from there. Okay. Sun, Judgment. Okay, well, it's about time. Here, I guess the lesson being that fate is not just the notion of what we run into, but the opportunities we also create, right? These two go in tandem with each other. Making that decision was actually a catalyst to a lot more than just what was manifested. It is a decision that caused a complete shift of framework, Sag, that you had to get ready for moving forward. To Judgment here. Eight of Wands, direct communication, that if you say you want this, what does that mean to actually pursue? And to Strength, the card of Leo, Seven of Swords, to push past lies and deception, but also to say, hey, it wasn't so bad after all. I've proven to myself that I can do it. Now what's next? Okay, so if we say we want it, we must go for it, and we must ingratiate ourselves or put ourselves into the entire process wholly, fully, and prepared. To the Hanged Man, we have the Tower. Okay, cool. So not simply saying, and that's why I said it was a lot more active than what I originally, what was originally being proposed, Sag, upon your Ace of Wands. Putting that Tower underneath the Hanged Man is not that you're waiting for collapse to happen, but you're waiting for the breakthrough. And the question here is, and I think it ties more to this debate that we're having over here of possibility versus the steps necessary for the journey. The Hanged Man awaiting that Tower, well, are we anticipating the downfall of everything that we tried to build? Or are we saying, I will either be prepared or it will crush me? Right? And that's probably why you're having such an emotional shift around this opening in September of being like, okay, it is what it is. I either sink or I swim. What are my choices and how do I embody that? Over to the Magician, the Moon. Okay. So even beyond what we know that we brought out, there's things that we have yet to understand or yet to contemplate in this journey, right? That's what we're trying to unveil with that everything that was said in the tens of being like, okay, either sink or swim, I'm gonna make it happen. But what have I now unlocked simply by doing this one action that I didn't give myself enough credit for at the beginning? Next, there was one upon the Hierophant, the Fool. Oh, this new beginning that we opened up for ourselves provides so much more than we originally thought. Both triumph and challenge. What does it mean to be the fool, to be naive enough to think that the world can change? Next, there was one more, the Magician, the Hangman. And now, not only was the decision made, but part of you understands that time will tell. Have I changed, or am I keeping regression in my back pocket? Right. To have that under the Ten of Wands, yes, there was the initial spark, the initial let's go kind of energy. And now we're saying, can we make it last? What will it take to make that last? Okay, that's fair, right? I do want you to be fair and kind to yourself and saying, yeah, what I didn't think was, it was kind of like a shot in the dark, whatever thing I was kind of throwing ideas at the wall, trying to see if they stick. Oh, wow. I was actually the right person for it. I was ready for it. And now moving forward, what does it mean to actually believe that not only was I right, but that it can sustain? This little action that you did back here, Sag, is the catalyst for all this happening right now. Okay, fair enough. Resolution. Real cards resolution for Sagittarius in their first and last month of September. What is held in the space of resolution for Sag month of September? In resolution, we hold Six of Pentacles, so the long-term investment, like I was saying before, and this kept on popping up in different ways around your read. It's not just about opening that door, it's about following that path. How so? Six of Swords, action, deliberation, set aside, we move forward. Yeah. If there couldn't be any more clear path or any other messaging, then we say we must take the steps forward and say the journey that we have unlocked is worthy of pursuit. Underneath it all, Nine of Wands, the efforts that we put in, what will we get out? Here, and having that underneath the possibility, yeah, certain possibilities may not remain there forever. Sure, cool. That's not something worth you debating right now, Sag. It really isn't. Having that next to that King of Swords and Seven of Cups, the King of Swords also bears enough confidence to say that what I put myself into, I can drive forward even if the other pathways fall to the wayside. And so that's why I got in your read today, Sag, of one action, one thing that you felt was kind of minuscule. It was just like, okay, I'll put my name down, sign my name up for the list. Let's see, what's the worst that could happen? Turned into, oh, wow, this actually turned into everything that I wanted. Now, what do I do with it? But also, what do I do with me? Right? There's this very solid reflection of, okay, this is unlocked more than I bargained for, more than I expected. And that is okay because I can prove to myself I can handle it. If I wanted that bad, if I needed that bad, if everything just coalesces at the same exact time, then the only thing I'm left to be is the better version of me, right? Because I can't pretend I don't know anymore, right? This little action opened up a lot of doorways. Now, well, what's next? That's up to you to decide. And I hope you decide well. That's why I got in your read for today, Sagittarius. I hope that not only are we quote unquote happy with our decisions, but rather that we believe that we are the right person and that this is the right time. Again, judgment popping out twice and saying that, the little things do matter because it opened up such a big pathway. Now, what does it mean to walk it? What does it mean to live it? What does it mean to be it? That's what I got in your read today, Sag. I hope this conversation was helpful and take care, okay? See ya.